Today's topic is 5 email marketing secrets for Fit Pros, and we are all about sustainable long-term business growth. Now, whether any of you have done email marketing campaigns before, whether you find them a little bit scary, we're going to set out a framework here to help you. And the first secret, number 1, it's all about creating fresh, original content each week. Andrew, can you dive into that a little bit more for us?
Absolutely. To start out as well, the reason we're focusing on this is just that I see having your own email list is a key asset that you should have within your business. You know, you own that real estate, as opposed to when I see a lot of fitness professionals, particularly, actually anyone in a service-based business, to be fair, but focusing on the fitness industry, a lot of us are on Facebook. Can we use Facebook or Instagram or a social media platform as our list? But we don't own that list. So if Mr. Zuckerberg changes or moves the goalposts, then that affects our business. So the key is to own our list. And the secret, as you say, the first one is creating that fresh, original content weekly. And what I mean by that is it could be a blog post if that's your strength, writing is your strength. It could be video if you're more comfortable coming across and sharing your content on video.
Yeah, so we're talking like Instagram posts, TikTok, YouTube, that stuff.
That's it. Or if you don't want to be seen but you like to talk, Sheena, my partner, says I like to talk. So maybe a podcast like we're doing here is your platform of choice. But the key there, it has to be consistent so that we're attracting and nurturing our target audience. People ask me, well, what should I be talking about? That's a great topic, but I would be talking workout tips, nutritional advice, client success stories. But as I say, pick either a blog post, a podcast, or a video as your primary platform of choice. But that's the first secret.
We did a whole podcast about how to find things to talk about, didn't we? So I can't remember what episode number that was, but go back in the archives. It's there somewhere.
They'll find it in the archive. But yeah, that was a good piece on how to find content quickly. That's a good point.
Exactly. Before we move on to secret number 2, in terms of, you say, be consistent, which is obviously really, really important. Are we talking once a month, once a week? What's a good place to start, do you reckon?
That's a good point. And it's going to be different for everybody. If you've got more time and you're able to do something on a daily basis, fantastic. If that's overwhelming or you've just not got the bandwidth to do that, then maybe weekly works for you, or fortnightly, or at the very outer reaches, I would say monthly. But find a frequency that you can be consistent with. Consistency is key. So we want to get into that consistent flow so that people will know or be ready for when your content comes out. So I'd start at the outer end that's most comfortable, and then you can always add to it. The worst thing is trying to go all out, doing something daily.
Like us.
Yeah, like we've done it. We're talking from experience. So, finding that frequency so that you don't drop the ball, essentially. But great question.
Next one, secret number 2, create an irresistible lead magnet. So number 1, what is a lead magnet and why is it valuable?
Lead magnet is essentially something of value, something that's going to prompt your target audience to say, hey, I want that. That will be useful to me. That will help me overcome a particular challenge or problem that I'm facing. They are exchanging something of value. That's their name and email address. And in return, we want to give them something that's valuable to them. So that lead magnet, it could be a cheat sheet, it could be a workbook, it could be a guide, it could be a meal plan, it could even be a series of videos like a fitness challenge over, say, 5 days. Whatever you feel works and will be relevant and delivers value to your client base. But we want to have something that's going to encourage them to join our mailing list. So it works in with that original content that we will be then sending out.
Exactly. So it's the advantage of that is that you're growing your email list at the same time.
That's the key.
And this is a free product, right? It's not a paid for.
It's not paid. It's something free, but it's something that when they receive it, they would think, wow, I would easily pay X amount for it.
Brilliant. Secret number 3, mail your list regularly. How often should we be contacting our list?
Again, the rule of thumb for me would be, because we want to stay top of mind with folks, but if we're creating, going back to secret 1, if we're creating fresh original content weekly, then perhaps it goes into play that we're putting out an email weekly to that audience. And the challenges I see, and I've made this mistake myself, where I was building my email list, I was sending out my latest promotion, my latest offer, and so on and so forth, and then wondering why people weren't, picking up on it. I had to take a hard look at myself, and I've had a similar circumstance with one of our members. We were talking about why emails weren't generating any interest. But when we look at it, and if we think from our client side of things, if we're just pushing offers and sales pitches out all the time, people are going to zone out on that. Instead, we want to be delivering value. And if we're putting original content out weekly, then our email can become valuable because we can give them a little nudge of, hey, I've just done this post, or I've just done this video, or I've just done this podcast talking about this problem or topic that will resonate with you. Then having that link, that encourages them to take action on that email. And when our email provider is seeing that our emails are getting opened and the links are getting clicked, then it's showing that we've got good content. So we're going to get more and more out there and delivered, which is key.
Fantastic. Does that help us get higher ranked in Google when people click your emails and open the links, or are they not linked?
I could be wrong, and we would need to address this with James, perhaps, as our SEO guy, but I don't think so. I think it helps with our email deliverables, because if we're putting out emails which are hard bouncing, i.e. they've got the incorrect emails or they're not getting opened, then we get scored by the email provider. So the better quality content we put out there means more opens, and that will mean more deliverables then.
Fantastic. Next one, secret number 4, utilize social media strategically. Now, obviously, some people love social media. Some people, it's the bane of their lives. How can people use it strategically? What are some of the ways?
Well, once we've got our lead magnet and once we've got our content going out, we can then let folks know on social media that we've got this lead magnet that's valuable, that they might wish to find, and it's driving people back initially to our website, and then from our website they can be added to our email list. So I always think of our website being our home base, and the hub, and social media being our outpost. So we're using them to drive folks to our website. So that's how we can utilize social media better. And it's essentially just to build awareness of ourselves and our brand.
Fantastic. And finally, secret number 5, make it personal. I think this one is really important because people like those personal connections, don't they? So it's like stories and things like that. Is that right?
Absolutely. People do business with people they know, like, and trust, and they're only going to get to know us if we're showcasing our personality. I've made the mistake where I've tried to be ultra professional, and I'll have a professional looking headline to an email, but that professionalism can come across as boring. If I was saying,
you can say maybe a bit cold, impersonal, basically.
Whereas if I was, and one of the stories I used in LinkedIn, which got a lot of traffic, was the headline was how an Amsterdam drug dealer taught me how to improve my marketing. So, you can go and find that.
To be fair, that piqued my interest. Yeah.
So, it's talking about the approach that street dealers when you're on holiday, or I guess even in your hometown, blah blah blah. There's elements we can pick, but that piqued people's interest, and it opened up, and I was able then to outline. Don't do drugs, of course, but it was telling them about the marketing strategies and tactics that they employ. So showing some personality it's going to resonate. It's going to put off certain people, which is great because they're never going to be your potential clients. But it's going to attract those that like your zany personality or your dad jokes or whatever it might be. And that's what we want. We want to build a community of like-minded folks. And that's where personality comes in.
Yeah, you just got to be yourself, haven't you? There's no point trying to be someone you're not. People will either like you for who you are or they won't like you if you are. So as long as they do, you'll attract the kind of people you want to work with, I guess.
That's it. And that's entirely what we're doing with these 5 steps or these 5 secrets as we line. And I think it's just a simple approach to be able to. It's not overwhelming, but it makes sense to me to follow that to ultimately build that list. Build your brand, generate that interest, and engage with your potential clients.
Absolutely. So just to quickly sum up before we sign off, create fresh content weekly, create an irresistible lead magnet, mail your list regularly, utilize your social media strategically, and make it personal. Make sure you get some good stories and good headlines like Andrew and his drug dealers in Amsterdam. And that'll build a strong and engaged community. That is it for today. Please don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. And if you want to find out what's holding you back from growing your fitness business and get yourself a free website audit, go to strengthmatters.com/audit.